Dexter, Resurrection introduced a number of new serial killers to the franchise, despite being named after a single murderer. Dexter, Resurrection Episode 4 introduced a plethora of new characters, including Krysten Ritter's Mia Lapierre and Peter Dinklage's Leon Prater, giving Dexter a lot of competition. However, in introducing all those new characters, Dexter, Resurrection may have skipped over some crucial details. Although not all of the serial killers that Leon gathered to feed his morbid voyeurism disclosed their life stories, we do know a good deal about Dexter's most recent victims. #Dexter Morgan, the title character in Dexter, Resurrection, is the first and most well-known serial murderer we encounter. Although Dexter has never been apprehended, during the course of 4 Dexter programs, he has had multiple near misses with the law. He became known as the Bay Harbor Butcher, because of the location where he disposed of his remains, after one such near miss. Dexter's method of operation is fairly simple and well known. Dexter kills only other killers, most of the time, using the Code of Harry. Using a drug known as M99, Dexter knocks out his victim after stalking them and obtaining evidence of their crimes. After tying them, nude, to a table with plastic sheeting, he kills them in a number of ways. At some point during his murderous career, Dexter also became accustomed to collecting blood slides as trophies. In a similar vein, he finally learned that he could dissect bodies into 9 distinct parts for simpler disposal and transportation. Miami served as his disposal site. He burns his victims in New York. Since the 1990s, Dexter has amassed more than 150 kills. Ronald "Red" Schmidt is the first new serial killer that Dexter, Resurrection presents to us. Red's nickname as a murderer was the Dark Passenger. His method of entering ride-sharing vehicles as a passenger and using a Geely saw to cut off the driver's head earned him that moniker. Then, as trophies, Red would take their driver's licenses and splatter them with blood. He blamed ride-sharing drivers for his father's suicide, Red subsequently revealed, which is why he attacked them. The value of the taxi medallion that Red's father had saved up for fell as ride-sharing applications became extremely popular. After that, Red's father committed suicide, and a boat severed his head from his body. When Blessing Kamara and his friend told Dexter about Red, his story came to an end. Red was wearing a camera-shy hoodie that concealed his face with infrared LEDs, but Dexter managed to find and apprehend him. After killing Red, he took his fingerprints and identities, then posed as the Dark Passenger to enter Leon Prater's party. When Blessing Kamara and his friend told Dexter about Red, his story came to an end. Red was wearing a camera-shy hoodie that concealed his face with infrared LEDs, but Dexter managed to find and apprehend him. After killing Red, he took his fingerprints and identities, then posed as the Dark Passenger to enter Leon Prater's party. Mia Lapierre was the first person to arrive at Leon's dinner party. Mia was a murderer who was referred to by the media as Lady Vengeance, a moniker she expressed contempt for. Like Dexter, she only targeted rapists and sexual predators, which is how she got the nickname. According to a press report, Mia also gouges out her victims' eyes and beats them until they die. Boston is where she works. Mia works as a sommelier and runs as a hobby when she's not killing as Lady Vengeance. She also shared a lot of her past with Dexter and they clicked right away. We know, therefore, that Mia struggled with motherhood and turned to ballet as a means of escaping her mother's rapist and pedophile partner. After that, Mia killed him to keep her younger sister Hazel safe. Leon's dinner party was attended by Al Jolly, who was simply referred to as Rapunzel. Because he chops off his victims' ponytails and keeps them as trophies, Al has earned the moniker serial killer. Although it's unclear how he selects or murders his victims, he gives Leon a number of them. It's interesting to note that Al leads a full life outside of murder. The youngest of Al's 4 children, Mabel, is the product of his marriage to Bonnie. He said that he sees it as a kind of self-care and that meeting other killers in New York has helped him distance his kills from his family. For a while, Dexter truly heeded Al's advice. Next to arrive was Lowell, who was also referred to as the tattoo collector. Lowell chose victims with tattoos and skinned their bodies to take the tattoos as trophies, as the term suggests. This is how he got his nickname. He subdued his victims with anesthetic while working as an anesthesiologist throughout the day. Not only that, but he also disclosed that he chooses victims based on their tattoos. Lowell's presentation at Leon's party and his chat with Dexter provide us with a wealth of information about his inner life. According to Lowell, removing the skins from his victims allowed him to relax and relieve the pressure he was under to kill. He asserted that without it, he would have become much sloppier and killed far more often. Ultimately, Lowell became Dexter's second victim in Dexter, Resurrection. Hoping to save the life of Lowell's next victim, Dexter stalked him and knocked him out with his own anesthesia. Dexter then took a blood slide trophy from Lowell, stabbed him in the heart, and cremated his remains in the same place he disposed of Red. By far the most mysterious serial killer in Dexter, Resurrection so far is Gareth. Aside from his moniker, we know almost nothing about Gareth. The other killers at Leon's party claimed he was the stereotypical creepy loner. He also described his urge to kill as the Great Yearning. We don't even know why he's called Gemini yet, though it may be a play on the real-world Zodiac killer. In reality, one of Leon Prater's guests did not attend the dinner party. Charlie killed Keith, aka the Canton Clubber, after he requested more money from Leon. Because of this, all we know about him is his name, preferred weapon, and whereabouts. Keith was obviously located in Canton, Michigan. According to his name, he probably beat his victims to death with a baseball bat that had nails hammered into it. How long he knew Leon and who his victims were are unknown. However, Keith's passing demonstrated that disobeying one of Leon's commandments is more than sufficient justification for death. In fact, Dexter, Resurrection hasn't had a decent introduction to the final new serial killer. The fourth episode of Resurrection discussed, but did not depict, a serial killer who is only known as the New York Ripper. According to Leon, the Ripper slaughtered individuals in the same neighborhood where he was raised and utilized a long, pointed instrument.